Hi. If it looks like I just woke up, I did. I'm gonna start this video off by saying I didn't mean to disappear for like 4 weeks. And right now I'm at the fork of, do I want to talk about what I actually want to talk about, or do I want to talk about that book I said I'd talk about last video? But anyways, I didn't mean to be gone for 4 weeks. I uploaded that video, then all of a sudden 4 weeks passed. I'm gonna try to talk more comprehensively. Yeah, so over the 4 weeks, a bunch of things happened. Other than me repeating the cycle of go to school, be miserable, suffer, get home, lay in bed for hours, repeat. That's really all. That's like most of what happened. I had a therapy appointment stuff, and I got my facial tics pointed out. Now I'm more aware of them, so now I'm aware that I'm doing weird shit with my face when I talk. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm doing it more. Please don't mind this. I know I've been doing this since the beginning of time, but now that I'm aware of them, it's very disturbing. So, over those 4 weeks, yes, I think it was over the 4 weeks, I don't know. Okay, here's a bit of background. I'm sorry. Do you guys know those, like, when you're scrolling mindlessly through YouTube Shorts, you occasionally get the video of, like, a goddamn paper dragon or something with some weird audio in the background and some text? Or, like, I don't know. One of the only ones I actually watched through because I was interested in was, like, one that someone, like, was one that someone was putting into water with that dumb Billie Eilish song playing in the background, and I was like, that's really cool. Like the water part, I don't know why, it just looked really cool to me. Then I just scrolled on, didn't think about it. And I went on thinking paper dragons were stupid because that was a public opinion. I saw a paper dragon. My instant thought was, ew, furry, and then scroll on. Like every time I got one of those videos on my YouTube Shorts feed, whenever I was just mindlessly scrolling at like 1 a.m. because I was half asleep and half awake, and there was no long form content to binge watch, I would just scroll through YouTube Shorts. So that's pretty fucking cringe. It's pretty fucking cringe right there. That's a bit cringe if you know what I mean. That's a bit cringe. Don't mind the cough. I have a cough when I wake up in the winter. Yeah, it sucks. So at least a day, or maybe it was before I posted that last video. I'm not sure. I don't keep track of time. I just know all of a sudden I looked at my channel. I was like, I last posted 4 weeks ago. People were probably gonna think I'm dead. I'm alive. Hi. I tried to post a video like a few days ago. It was gonna be a really short video, but then my device crashed and didn't save the video. Cool. And then I just gave up and didn't try again. So fast forward like a week or so. I'm mindlessly scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and I see one by like Zadia, however you pronounce their name. I don't know. I don't actively engage with the paper dragon community. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. But at this point, I had enough. So in my brain, I was like, I want to make one of these things as a joke because they're dumb and stupid. So I made one. I followed her tutorial, and it was like, back in the day when like 5-minute crafts and Shroom were still trending, and YouTubers would like try their crafts as a joke. That's what I was doing. I was making a paper dragon, following the tutorial as a joke. And well, now I have 6 of them. So I was nervous on making this video because while I am pretty proud of my work, I think it's pretty epic for only for a noob. I do know that I have real life friends who watch my channel. It's not just one, but it's a few of them. Cool. And if the ones who haven't will probably somehow find this channel. Hi. I don't know, it's always weird knowing that your real life friends watch your channel. I mean, I'm flattered when they give me praise, but it's also like, oh god, they don't, what if they don't like what I'm posting? Because this is pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie, this is shit. So I was hesitant on making this video because I was like, how is this going to affect my friends' perception of me? Will they think I'm a furry? I can happily say I am not a furry. I have nothing against furries. I have actually come to a realization in my 4 weeks of being gone. I know I went through a complete like metamorphosis here. That furries don't actually believe they're animals, which is a shocker to me because I grew up my whole life thinking that furries dead ass believed that they were animals. And to figure out that they're just cosplaying and they're like to figure out that's actually literally just cosplay and they don't actually live their day-to-day life crawling around on all fours or was an absolute revelation. Did I use that word right? I don't know. My brain is on static mode. Like, I can literally hear the static. So that was something I learned in my 4 weeks of, being gone. I don't think I ever had anything against furries. I think over time I grew out of the dumb public opinion that furries equal bad weirdos. Because they're just people. And as a cosplayer myself, I have nothing against other people cosplaying. Like, as long as they're not going around, like, hurting children, if you know what I mean, or just hurting people in general, I don't have a problem. And I know they get stereotyped a lot, but keep in mind that you can be a bad person. You can be a bad person in any community. I mean, for God's sakes, look at, like, the gacha community and stuff back then, or... That made no sense, sorry. Basically, any community you can think of, even the ones that are deemed as the good communities online, the ones that get worshipped and praised a lot, even they have their weirdos, like, they're weirdos. Even they have their bad people. So my point is every community is going to have weirdos. That doesn't mean that the entire community is a bunch of children-loving, fat Discord moderators who don't touch grass, because that's just a stereotype for, like, every community. So I just want to get that out of the way. I am not a furry. I have never been a furry. When I was really little, I would wear, like, animal costumes and stuff. That was because I was, like, 5. And every child has worn, like, a pair of cat ears or crawled around acting like a cat or something. I mean, for God's sakes, I had an entire cat costume for, like, Halloween when I was, like, 6, 7, maybe. So, just getting that out of the way. I got nothing against furries. I'm just not one of them. I actually think their work is pretty cool. Because I know those things take a lot of effort to make, and I'm one of those few people who can look at something that I don't have much of an interest in, but I can still think it's pretty cool. So, I just want to get this out of the way by saying, remember back when I was always screeching about Gacha Life? I'm sorry, I am delaying this so much. Well, I just want to admit that while I was hating on Gacha Life, I secretly liked Gacha Life, and I secretly played Gacha Life. I didn't like the community of Gacha Life, I did not like the developer whatsoever of Gacha Life, but I enjoyed the game. And I actually did have some decent interactions with other Gacha members and shit. Well, other Gacha community members. So that's just a little confession. So I have this habit of pretending I hate something when I actually really like something. Like, for example, when I was first getting into My Chemical Romance, cringe, I know, I would say, ew, My Chemical Romance. Even though I have listened to every one of their albums and have enjoyed every album. Nowadays, I just don't give a fuck and say, yeah, that's my favorite band. Cringe, I know. One of my favorite bands. I like their music. This is just like, I feel like I'm confessing my sins right now. So basically, you need to know that I do have a tendency, got my bangs, I do have a tendency to pretend I don't like something when I actively enjoy that thing. Just know if I keep talking about it, saying I hate it, I probably actually enjoy that thing, if it's nothing bad. So let me get into the meat of the bones, why you came here. I'm going to show you my little monstrosities here in order, starting from the first one to my most recent one. And they have names for the most part. I'm still working on some of their names. So yeah, let me go get my first one. Alright, so this video is gonna require me having to go off screen a bit because they're all the way over there, and I don't really want to have them on my bed because they're pretty fragile. So this was my first one. This side looks like ass because my dumb ass, when I was making him, didn't know that yeah, you had to flip the paper. So if you look in there, you can see that I drew on this side. Good job, Ezra. Whereas I did do it on this side, so that's an issue. That's an issue in its own right. And I didn't add the cross on it. Well, I did, but you know, it's not as good as the cross on this side. At the time I made him, I thought that this was like the best dragon I like known to man. Shit. He's trying to commit suicide because he looks so ugly. That every other dragon maker was just below me in terms of this guy's quality. And while it is certainly good for a first dragon, he's definitely not the best dragon in existence. So, let's... I did paint the inside. Like, I had a lot of fun making this. Like, I made this, I was like, shit, this is actually kind of fun. It'd be funny if I kept making these in the future. And then I did. So, you know, this was, his name's Lucifer. It's a cute name. I would name a lizard Lucifer. I would name a rat Lucifer. Maybe a dog or a cat. It's a good pet name. Lucifer is a good pet name. I think I'd name a lizard Lucifer, though, because lizard, Lucifer, why not? It doesn't really fit. But I also want to name a lizard Envy. That's a complete different tangent on its own. But yeah, this was my first dragon. Thank you for the tutorial, Zadia, however you pronounce it. And I'm now going to get my second dragon, which is a hot dumpster fire, because I was making the base for late at night. And it was only my second dragon. For instance, this is what his base looks like. You're getting the behind the scenes. And this girly's base is in shambles. Alright. So, I don't know if you can hear it. Shit. This was my second dragon. Her name is Aurora. At the time, she was my best dragon. Because she looked nice, and she was easy to control. And she had no teeth for her mouth to get caught on. Whereas my most recent dragons do have teeth, so when I'm, you know, because I'll occasionally, like, test them to see how well they can move their jaw and stuff. So the teeth will either they get caught like this, or the teeth go into here. So if anyone knows how to fix that, that'd be pretty cool. This is her base, so as you can tell, it was very fucked up. If you couldn't tell by here, I'm usually too lazy to cut off the excess, if you couldn't tell. So this uses up a lot of paper. I went through a shit ton of paper in 4 weeks. I used to have a sketchbook that was like this big in terms of paper, and now it's like this big because of these little shits. So yeah, this was my second dragon. I was really proud of her because she had all these little dangly things. I loved how the dangly things like looked on dragons and stuff. She's got like stars on her. I didn't really feel like making a bottom jaw because I was like, bottom jaws aren't necessary to the dragon. They are. They really are, and you'll see why in a moment. So now I'm going to get my third dragon, who I actually still really like. His name's Calamity. I'm still working on it. I actually really like this guy. He's really cute. I don't like this side of him. I fucked up on his eye, if you couldn't tell. But since I was using marker, I couldn't really go back and fix it. I did redo his jaw yesterday. Because at first he had like a chunky kind of jaw, and it was like way shorter than the snoot, so I fixed that. Yeah, I fixed that. So I am pretty happy with him. He's really cute. I like his little horns. I like the little dangly bits. He was I don't know. When I'm making him, I remember that there was this Roblox Smith that Flamingo played with once that had the creepy tall basement dweller friend who was like black and white and he was like a child or something. Right now I'm imagining like Rui, but there's like a freaky fucking shadow demon like dancing in his basement and he calls it like Jeffrey or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm now going to move on to my 4th dragon because I'm running low on time, kinda. Yeah, this is Calamity. I'm still working on his name. I do kind of like how Calamity sounds for him, but I'm not sure if it really fits him. So I'm going to go get my 4th dragon, which is a million times better than the other ones, and I love him so much. His name is Ghost. Before you accuse me of stealing any names, yes, I do know that there are multiple dragons named Ghosts. I don't care. I like Ghost is a pretty common name for things. I mean, there are multiple, like there's a band called Ghost, multiple people have OCs named Ghost. You cannot own the name Ghost. That's all I'm saying. You literally can't own the name Ghost. So I'm gonna get this one. This is like my main dragon, I guess you could say. I don't know. I sound like such a geek right now. So I am very proud of this one. This is like my favorite. I don't know if you can see him or her. I don't know if you can see him. They're double-sided. Like he's double-sided. I love him. So I'm gonna use my left hand because that's like the thing you gotta do. Unfortunately, his little dangly bits do get caught up in the mushrooms occasionally. But yeah, so I found out that if you want like, because after I started making dragons, I was looking at people's like really long, slim dragons, and I was like, I want to make one of those. Because I don't really like how the blocky dragon looks. I know, weird. So I just figured out that you make a normal base. At least this is my style. You make a normal base, and then you see here's a behind the scenes. You just make the dragon head. You just make the dragon head face, whatever, longer than the base, and then you make the jaw longer than the base. Pretty cool, huh? It's not really rocket science. My one issue with him, my left hand's really bad at like syncing up. My one problem with him is that his teeth do tend like his jaw will tend to like hit either this side of his mouth or his teeth, and it can make it kind of hard to properly make him lip sync or whatever it's called. Properly puppeteer him. I've always had a weird interest in puppets and stuff. They're fun. They're fun. So yeah. I like him a lot. He's like my favorite right now. I like all the little mushrooms I had because this guy took me hours to make. Like this little guy, I love his like. He looks so cute. He took me like 6 hours to make, maybe. I mean, that's nothing compared to other people's dragons. I know some people will spend like 11 hours in total on their dragons, but this guy took a while to make, and I did add on things to him after the fact, so like in total it's probably like 8 hours maybe after making the initial base. But yeah, the ears are separate, if you couldn't tell. They're all taped in. The antlers are separate, and the mushrooms are separate, and obviously these are taped on. Point is, I love this guy. He's adorable. I don't know, he's just really cool looking. I'm really proud of him for only a 4th dragon, so this is my favorite. Now you know what I've been up to for 4 weeks. Now I'm gonna get my 2 most recent dragons, well, one of them at a time. I made these last night, so I made a flying one. I don't know why I made a flying one, but I did. So this one doesn't have a name. This is a flying one, if you couldn't tell. So this is like my first flying dragon. I don't think a lot of dragon makers make a flying dragon as one of their first few dragons, but I did. and I'm pretty damn proud of this. It looks pretty cool. I know I could definitely improve, but I like it, and it's fun to use. Like, the little finger things are kind of uncomfy. I know that, like, some things are, like, a little anatomically incorrect. But I'm pretty happy, you know? So this is, like, just how I kind of use it. It looks like a botched peace sign, but yeah. Pretty epic. So I used acrylic paint for the wings, like for the just the color of the dragon, and then on this wing, only this wing for some reason, I reinforced it with a sheet of thicker paper underneath, and for some reason this one just didn't need reinforcing. So, the duality of dragon. I think I made these out of 2 different kinds of paper, I think. I'm trying to figure it now, but I broke my thumb. I broke my thumb there, I did not break my thumb. Yeah. She's pretty cute. I like her. I'm not going to get my most recent dragon, who I have mixed feelings on, because I'm not good at drawing blood. So, what you need to know about me is that I love, like, creepy angelic stuff. Creepy angelic stuff is one of my favorite, like, aesthetics. Just, like, suffering angels, heaven, but heaven is actually dystopian. I love a dystopian heaven headcanon. I have a bunch of OCs in a little world of a dystopian heaven, and it's like, you know, it's one of my favorite things in the world. So, this is Azriel. I was trying to decide if I want to name it Azriel or Esther. I don't know how to pronounce Esther though. Esther? I don't know. I'm obviously not going to name it Ezra. I already have an OC named Ezra, and the fact that my nickname is Ezra. So yeah. Now, when I mentioned that blood thing, like, you maybe look at this and be like, this looks fine, won't you like it? Yeah. Let me put this on the right hand. So while I do love Azriel, he's adorable, yeah. Yeah, this side doesn't look too good, if you couldn't tell. Super easy to use and control, though. I mean, like, do you see how, like, crisp this jaw movement is? I did find out somewhere along the way that you don't have to use as much paper if you don't roll up one sheet of paper and use it as a base. If you just cut, like, a nice thin line down, and then, like, use that as your base thing. God, this front view looks awful. Then it's a lot easier to, you know, not use as much paper. I don't know how much paper I use for him. Or her, I don't know. I don't know what gender it is. I'm gonna have to decide that. I'm leaning towards guy, though, for some reason. Yeah, I am pretty proud of his horns, though. I mean, this side looks good. I feel like it is missing something, though. Like, I am definitely going to add on to it after this video. Yeah, he looks cool on this side. This side is okay. I'm not really sure about this side. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, it looks fine. And then other times, I'm like, it looks like shit. But yeah, that's just kind of, that's my most recent dragon. I don't think I'll ever do, like, paper dragon. I might, actually. I don't think I'll ever do, like, the traditional paper dragon content, at least not on this channel. If any of my real life friends saw this and you're disappointed in me, please don't be. It's, like, genuinely just a hobby, and it doesn't really change anything about me. It's, like, the same way I dress. Like, you can look past how I dress with, like, you can look past the way I dress, like, with chains and, you know, knee-high socks, or just long baggy pants, coffin purses, platform boots, collared shirts, you know, just an all black and white, usually. You can, if you can look past that, you can look past this. I've already gone on a long I am not a furry tangent, because A, I'm not, B, I'm not. I didn't know what to say there. But yeah, just, everyone has their little hobbies that could be seen as weird by the public eye. But just know on this channel, you are safe, and I, 9 times out of 10, will not judge you for your interests. Because these are my interests, and these are pretty strange if you say so. These are pretty strange if I do say so myself. yeah. I won't judge you for your personal interests as long as you're not hurting anybody. And these aren't hurting anybody. These aren't like zooming up to people and like gnawing their faces off. Yeah. Also, if you have any tips, like if you make these things, you have any tips, leave them in the comments. That'd be pretty helpful, actually. Because I'm a little newbie. For example, the chain is glued to this side. Sorry, everything's reversed in the camera because I didn't know where else to put it. So, we're learning. We're learning. We are learning. So yeah, I made this very late at night, which is why it kind of looks messy. But yeah, I've been wanting to make an angelic dragon for a long time, and I did get some inspo when it came to like the eyes and the tears, and I have this weird talent where I could just look at something and immediately kind of get the idea of how someone did that, and then use that like technique, I guess, on whatever my art project is. It's like a weird artist thing, I guess. So yeah, unfortunately the halos are reversed. I didn't realize that at the time. So now that I know that they're reversed, I'm probably going to fix it. Maybe. I'm probably just going to have to flip this one because, I don't know. I don't really know how I like it more because I like both and it looks kind of cool. So, whatever. Anyways, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for not posting for 4 weeks. Bye.